gather close and mind the dust. What secrets do a million lost pages hold? In a walled-up room in old Cairo, an answer waited 1,000 years. In Fustat, the old heart of Cairo, stands the Ben Ezra Synagogue. Behind its walls lay a single room with no door to the street, reached only by a ladder through a high opening. This room was a Geniza, a storeroom for worn-out writings. By tradition, any page that might bear a sacred name could not simply be thrown away. So it was set aside here and left to rest. For nearly 1,000 years, from the 9th century to the 19th, the people of this community fed the room. Prayer books and shopping lists, marriage contracts and idle scraps all tumbled in together. The dry Egyptian air did what no library could. It preserved the fragile pages. And so the room grew heavier, year by year, with the discarded words of the living. Here is the mystery. This was not a room of treasures. It was a room of ordinary lives, and inside it waited hundreds of thousands of voices that history had never meant to keep. Think on that. Not kings, not saints, but the everyday. And most of these pages have never been read, even now. Stay with me, and I will show you how they finally spoke. The room's secret held until the 1890s. Scholars and travelers began to notice fragments from Cairo appearing in European hands. Word spread of an attic full of medieval writing. When researchers finally reached the Geniza, the scale stunned them. This was no modest bundle of pages. Estimates would climb past 300,000 fragments, and by some counts, when the tiniest scraps are added, close to 1 million. The fragments were carried out and dispersed to libraries around the world. The largest share, the Taylor Schechter collection, went to Cambridge, roughly 190,000 items alone. More went to Oxford's Bodleian Library, to New York, and to collections scattered across continents. A single medieval room had been broken apart and spread across the modern world. And what did the pages say? They were written in Hebrew, in Arabic, and in Judeo-Arabic, the everyday tongue of the community. Letters, contracts, medical formulas, poetry, and commentaries on scripture. Most of the pages came from the 10th to the 13th centuries, the peak of the Islamic Golden Age, when Fustat pulsed with commerce and learning. These scraps were witnesses to that world. Among them ran the trail of merchants. Business letters revealed trade networks stretching across the Mediterranean, and even out to India. Cargo, prices, and partnerships recorded by ordinary hands. But here the strangeness deepens. For all the letters recovered, no one truly knows how many business dispatches between Cairo and distant ports still lie untranslated, waiting in their boxes. The questions multiply. Do any of these fragments name lost libraries or scholars whose works have vanished? Why were some intimate documents preserved while others crumbled to nothing? For over a century, the answer was patience. Scholars read fragment by fragment, verifying each by paleography, by the shape of the letters, by radiocarbon dating and careful archival study. It was slow, painstaking work, and still the unread pile dwarfed the read. Human eyes alone could never finish. There were simply too many fragments, too many hands, too many centuries pressed into that single room. So the great question remained. How do you read a mountain of writing that no lifetime could finish? For 100 years, there was no answer. Then, in our own decade, something changed. In 2025, university libraries, among them the Penn Libraries, launched projects using artificial intelligence to transcribe the fragments automatically. For the first time, thousands of unread pieces began to yield their words. The machine reads what generations could not, and yet it too faces the mountain. Even with AI, the sheer volume means countless personal stories may surface only slowly. or never at all. Consider what a single overlooked page might do. A forgotten deed, a merchant's contract, could rewrite a chapter of medieval trade. A stray letter might reconnect us to a name lost for 800 years. This is the true wonder of the Cairo Geniza. There is no single hidden treasure. Instead, there is a collective window, marriage contracts, shopping lists, court cases, the unguarded voice of an entire age. So, the honest ending is this. The room in Fustat has been emptied, but not truly opened. Nearly 1,000,000 pages, and even now most remain unread. The mystery is not solved. It is merely beginning to be heard. Somewhere in a box in Cambridge or Oxford, a stranger from the Islamic Golden Age is still waiting to be read. A merchant, a bride, a scholar whose last words have gone unheard for 1,000 years. The dust settles, but the pages wait. Next week, another vanished collection. Subscribe for alerts and travel with me again.